What were the chat bans again, Volandum? You posted them in the chat, right?
Kha'Zix, Nidalee, Kassadin, and Jace.
Excellent. This is going to be the round of 8 game. This is going to be, this is...
FatMii Too Heavy against Dominionation.
There we go. FatMii Too Heavy versus Dominionation. And round of 8 game, Dominate Dominion tournament number 57. It's free to enter, guys. Come out and play. Bring your friends. We always like having more guys to come out and play. And we like casting new teams as well. Beginning of this broadcast, we cast 2 teams that had never played before in the tournament. So bring your friends, probably get your game cast. You know, if 2 new teams are in the thing, we like to put new guys on camera. We like to showcase, you know, different people and different playstyles and stuff like that early on in the tournament. And if you do good, we'll just keep following you all the way up. So you guys have some of that to look forward to. Volandum, you want to talk about the bans real quick, since you had the chat bans?
Please, am I talking about the chat bans or the current bans?
Bans in general, so just go through all them, and then I'll hit on the champs when they come up.
Blue is relatively free to ban, as they have first pick. They banned Kha'Zix. That's actually interesting. I know Evolution plays Kha'Zix, but they probably wanted to try to pressure with some other champions. Nidalee was banned. She's very standard ban. Kassadin is also a standard ban. Again, I'm surprised that Blue Team chose to ban Kassadin. Purple Team banned Jace. He's just very strong mid-game and late-game scaling, which makes him very strong. Most champions have to choose between a strong mid-game and a strong late-game. That's the chat bans. The lobby bans so far. From the left, we've got Wukong, Kale, and Fizz. They all have teamfight changing ultimates. They all have good damage, and Wukong and Fizz have really good in-fight mobility. And Kale is just ranged, puts out a lot of damage, has good slow, and a very short cooldown ultimate. Thanks so much. And the purple team bans are Lulu. As Cillian says, she's probably the best support. She's got excellent CC, can keep people alive for a long time. Great kiter, good solo point defender, good poke. Works with most champions, in fact. Moo, one of the best tanks, very damaging. Though I believe Sejuani is actually almost as damaging these days, after her buffs. Very powerful ultimate, locks people down for AoE, but can synergize, for instance, with Zara. Jarvan, again, is an AoE comp champion, but synergizes with Zara. Not quite sure why they've chosen to ban them, actually.
Okay, so we're getting into the picks now?
Yep.
Okay. For the picks, looks like we can see Elise up first. Elise, durable character in spider form. She has a good escape mechanism, and I guess you could say it's also sort of a chase gap closure mechanism with repel. She has a stun, does a lot of damage. Spiders are really annoying. They cause some movement BS because you have to walk around them and stuff. So, good character to have. That stun is great. Great thing about Elise. And the way that she just seems to live for such a long time is really good. We're seeing Urgot and Zyra as well. Oh, blockers, right? Feed ski block. You guys, blockers. Is this enough blockers? Feed ski, did I blockers?
We're not actually seeing any blockers. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Now.
Am I blockers hard enough, guys?
Actually, we can still see the summoners. We can still see the summoners.
League of blockers, guys. I got you covered. Have every blockers. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'll get those covered up. Thanks for pointing that out, guys. And we're seeing Urgot. Urgot is a good character who can sit back. He's a safe AD carry. 80 whatever, 80 ranged bruiser. I don't know what you want to call him, but it's a great character to have because he's damage resistant because of Terror Capacitor. So you can harass him kind of, but he's resistant to it. Good long range, especially if he's able to connect with the corrosive charge. And if you want a character that's ranged and 80 and safe, definitely Urgot. And he can bottom lane and he can top lane. He can go either place. So having a good Urgot on the team is never a bad thing. Now we're seeing Zyra. Zyra, amazing zoning ability, lots of AoE, great damage. If you can connect with her, she can die. But even when she's dead, she can still delay on points for a little bit of extra time. So Zyra is sort of like the king or queen. Do plants have gender? I don't know. But the androgynous hero of the chlorophyll king. Write your own pun in the chat, guys. But basically, the best at zoning, I think, out of the AP champions in the game. Because the plants stay up for so long, line effect, ultimate, death passive, she just keeps making it take longer to try and capture a point. We're seeing Sona, who's a good support, gives movement speed, gives health, good damage as well. Sheen Sona is something that we see pretty commonly as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of fight Sona. Her stun is amazing. Her speed is great. So she's able to get back and forth between points and help out where she needs to. And being able to drop down that stun is just awesome. Talon is a character that I don't know why we don't see as much Talon over here on NA. I think we see more Talon on Europe West, because Talon's a great character. I know Sifu Calvin plays some Talon and is really good with him. And Talon's burst is just awesome. Talon will just shred some people so hard. So you've got to look out for that. And he's hard to control, too, because he jumps in with a silence, you get raked, you're slowed, that's not good. He stealths, like, where'd Talon go? Now, people do get a lot of Hextech Sweeper and stuff like that. You usually blow those before the fight, though, to try and find enemy teams. You don't necessarily always have them active or available to use during the fights to be able to try and highlight Talon with it. Because if you do that, I mean, that still puts it on cooldown. Usually it's on cooldown before then. He just does a lot of damage. If you can get some CC on him, yeah, you can kill him, but usually his damage is out before you're able to kill him anyway, so you have to look out for that. We're seeing Leona and Xin Zhao. Leona has so much crowd control. She has an AoE stun. She's able to dive through the back of the fight with Zenith Blade and tag whoever's in the back that they want to get rid of. She has a targeted stun with Shield Bash, and she makes for a good initiate because of Eclipses, the way Eclipse works, giving her that extra armor, and MR is a good thing to have. And then we have Xin Zhao, who just does a lot of damage. He jumps into a fight, and he just fights real hard. He has an airborne, and he has a knockback, both good things to have. He can be durable and survivable. He can be high damage and kill people and kind of glass-like. Like, Xin Zhao can go a couple different ways, but it all ends with him dashing in and starting a fight and really putting the hurt on people. Thankfully, though, Xin Zhao is, you can kind of counter Xin Zhao by a little bit of kiting, throwing attack speed slow on him, like, really messes him up. But he's another character that can just dish out a lot of hurt real fast. We're seeing Singed down there as well. Singed has a lot of ability to delay. He's a very durable character, good at clearing out minions as well. We're seeing Nyx 87 on him, so we're probably going to see Singed down in the bottom lane there. And we're also seeing Gragas and Vi. Vi has armor reduction. It takes a moment to apply, not quite as quick as Wukong's armor reduction is. She has a suppress. She's good at dashing in, reducing armor, singling someone out and beating them down. Good character, and she's durable is what makes her excel, is the fact that she's able to live long enough to do her damage most of the time, and she helps set up for Talon, because if she gets that armor reduction in, then Talon's going to jump onto someone who has the reduced armor already, and it's just going to further show what Talon is capable of. And we're seeing Gragas as well, Gold Jet 30, Gold Jet's their bottom laner if I remember correctly, so you're probably going to see Gragas down there. Great reach on that character, lots of AP damage, and he can set up some nice ganks with the Explosive Cask. So, is there anything about these two team comps that I should be looking at, Volandum?
I'm not sure. Blue team's got quite a lot of kite with all its champions except Vi, and I'm not sure who their initiator is going to be. They'll probably initiate off an Elise stun. Purple team does have hard initiation, and they'll probably try to catch people out because most of blue team will probably be fairly squishy and vulnerable if caught out. If you can take out Talon before he can get his very strong AoE burst off, then you may well have won the team fight, although blue team can still kite you. Zara is going to be very vulnerable to assassination, but she does have the range to stay safe if necessary.
Now, just to remind you guys, this is the round of 8 game. FatMii 2 Heavy versus Dominionation. FatMii 2 Heavy on the left, Dominionation on the right-hand side of the screen here. I'm going to kick over to the loading screen in just a moment. What do we think about Katarina? I think old Katarina was significantly better than new Katarina, but that's just my opinion. Some people like the way that she changed. I think there's only a couple good cat players on NA, and she doesn't get used a lot because her damage is breakable. Everyone tends to be too tanky for her to get the reset chain rolling.
Yes, I'm afraid I've crashed, so you'll have to
Oh, well, okay, pop in and let me know when you're back, and we'll try and get the timestamps synchronized here. I'll do the intro while you're reconnecting. I'm Gandair, the Gaming Clan Vato Clan, and this is the round of 8 game, FatMii 2 Heavy versus Dominionation. This is the DominateDominion.com League of Legends Dominion Tournament number 57. FatMii 2 Heavy's team consisting of FatMii playing as Vi, Evolution playing as Talon, Moral Sinistral playing as Sona, Noob V3 playing as Elise, and Goldjet30 playing as Gragas. Volandum disconnected and is on his way back, so I'm going to go ahead and intro this other team.
I can tell what the other team is. You've got Kirilian playing Xin Zhao, Wing Street on Zyra, Sakiriono playing Leona, Golly on Urgot, and Nix87 on Singed.
Well, hey, there you go. He doesn't even need to be connected to commentate. That's pretty awesome. That makes him a little bit more awesome than me. Baller Cakes 13. The Arby's was like a couple hours ago, man. You missed it. You missed it a little bit. That was previously. So we're going to see how this works out here. Zyra is a pretty scary character to deal with. And Zyra always sort of runs a lot of games when she's used in tournament play. So we'll see if that trend continues on here. In the chat, though, viewers, I would like you to post which champion you think is going to be the first one to die. Let's see who can get this right. I want to know which one you think is going to die first. Now, Gragas and Singed are going to be going down bottom lane, most likely, because those two are the bottom lane players. But look at that, we got Vi, Talon, Sona, Elise, Xin, Zyra, Leona, Urgot. I wonder who it's going to be this time.
Welcome to the Crystal Spa.
Look at the starting items, nothing too out of the ordinary. Seeing Urgot going with Grez's first. Guys, you can Grez's first and still have money for potions. It's a very important thing to remember. If other people on your team have boots and stuff, that's fine. You cannot get boots because other people will get to the tower early enough to interrupt, so it's not really gonna matter too much. If you're a little bit late on the draw there. And no, nothing else. Looks like Talon hasn't bought yet. Oh, he's trying to fake us out. Look at this. Pro item boots pots, like in that order for everyone on that team. So look at, like, in the chat we're seeing the guesses are Sona, Leona, Urgot, Xin, definitely not Xin Zhao, Talon, Elise. So looks like nobody is worried about Zyra dying, I guess. We'll find out who's right or not. Heading up to the top right now. There's the Eye of Sauron watching over you. On the map there, showing them exactly what's going on.
Yes. The mastery is very important for that. It keeps tabs on them like the sweeper does.
Oh, that's interesting to know. A little bit of poking back and forth up here. Spider bomb. Spider loves tree. A little bit of Zyra poking there. Lots of poke, actually, from the red team there. And Sona and Elise have that going for them. Zyra and Urgot have that going for them as well. Now, how do you think this fight... There we go. Xin Zhao was going to be the initiator in that fight. Immediate exhaust on him the second he goes in.
This fight has been lost. Zyra lost the opportunity to do damage when Xin Zhao went in. And her team is probably just getting cleaned up now.
Now, I was going to ask how you thought the fight was going to break out, but then Xin Zhao went ahead and answered that question for me by dashing on into the fight. Immediate exhaust on Xin Zhao, and like you said, Zyra not being able to put out the hurt like you might have wanted in that fight. FatMii coming up here for Sakuriono and Kerillian. Disappears into the sky, at least does. She comes back down. Zyra there. At the point now, hanging back a little bit, Zyra and Urgot there. Sona stepping up front because she's the one that has the most health. Body blocks for Vi there. And
something to bear in mind in early fights is that Sona will always heal herself. So if you're planning on a long fight, it's fine for her to take the damage.
Yep. The point still not captured, though. That's the power of the revive spell. Having that revive is going to enable you to delay this windmill fight there. It's already level 6. Evolution there ducks out with Talon there. And FatMii and Moral Sinistral are alive still. Oh, the Solar Flare does not quite connect. That could have been disastrous had that stun actually managed to land. Krillin comes up, saves Golly by clipping off Talon from behind. And Sona and Vi have to fall back now. And Dominionation is going to pick up the windmill here. And in the bottom lane, Gragas' point was neutral away from him while that was going on.
Yes, his revive has been forced. Nyx still has his revive. So Sin seems to be winning that lane. He's going to get some gank help now.
We're seeing 3 members of the enemy team popping up there. Elise sticking her head out first. Elise has the Storm Shield. They have been revealed there by Elise stepping out like that. Does find Xin Zhao, decides to go back and zone him away. 3 people on down for Singed right now. The rest of the team coming down. No, it looks like Leona might be cutting up or across there. And they do have that bottom point now. They're going to turn that around and get that captured. Middle of the map there. Zyra and Urgot able to keep Sona away. Still no one up at top. Leona's going to go for that refinery there. Sona's going to respond to that. Look at her heading over there right now. Zyra and Urgot down here in the bottom. Talon and Vi. Vi looking to recall but decides against it. Looks like they might want to defend this point for a little while. Leona does get the neutral off over at the refinery while this is going on. Vi goes in on Nyx, does a little bit of damage there. Evolution putting the hurt on Golly. Vi turning around to intercept maybe? Nope, not going to buy into that at all. Xin Zhao goes down for another kill on Evolution, and they're going to turn the point around. Vi heading up. Looks like she wanted to make a play for Drill, perhaps? But nope, going to go right on past it. At least up at the top had caught Sakuriono there. Vi heading up to the top to make a play at this point, but Zyra and Xin Zhao are on their way up. Defensive Garrison shuts down that idea entirely. There's the Solar Flare, and Zyra putting down some DPS as well. Looks like FatMii is dangerously close to getting a free trip to the Summoner platform, but he decides that he's not going to redeem that ticket until a later date. He's got to watch out, though, because there might be blackout dates and there's special restrictions that apply. You got to read the fine print to find out what's going to happen. Nyx down here at the bottom, going for a little bit of fling, a little bit of harass on Goldjet there. And Gragas going to back off just a little bit. Talon, middle of the map, heading on his way down, seeing a red ping over there. And
yes.
Not
Where's
sure.
the CV go down? Did it reveal the gank incoming? Possibly. The sweeper certainly revealed Talon.
Yes, they did
They
tag him with that.
spotted
Evolution heading down for the point there, going to circle around, meet up with his teammates there, Golly and Kerillian and Xin Zhao.
4 people bot now. Only Noob B3 holding top, but Leona's not going to be able to take mid off her.
They have Leona and Zyra up there. I don't know if they'll be able to pull that off, especially now with them breaking away from the fight. FatMii Too Heavy is falling back. Sona heading up towards the refinery right now. Vi heading across towards the drill. Nyx A7 pursuing after Goldjet 30's Gragas down there in that lane. Throws down the adhesive to slow him, but Evolution's there, and that could be bad. Singed in a little bit of a rough spot. Golly capturing the tower draws Evolution's attention away from Nyx temporarily. Up at the top, Elise and Vi were able to take down Zyra, now stalking after Leona up at the top with the help of Moral Sinistral Sona now. Leona does get a free trip back to the Summoner platform. They're going to go up. They're going to start trying to capture the windmill. Xin Zhao is on his way up to the top. It looks like he's got plenty of movement speed to be able to get there and interrupt Sona from that point. It's going to chase her away, only temporarily, though. They have a lot of... If Elise can connect with a stun, might be able to put some serious hurt on him there. Needs to stay underneath that tower, however. Nope, stun from Sona says not going to have any of that. However, Xin Zhao was able to delay long enough for Gali to arrive at the top point. But I don't know how I like Gali's odds.
He needs to do something about that wave, and he's not in a position to.
FatMii comes in from the back, gets that armor break on Gali right away there. Big minion wave, turns that tower around up at the top point. Gragas down at the bottom, gets some capture in on this tower, but Leona and Zyra are able to stop him from doing that. Zyra in the lane. No, Leona, I thought Leona was maybe going for a back play there, but I guess not. Vi coming down for Zyra, though, gets some damage in right away. There's the armor break, and Wing Street has to retreat back. Curiono on the tower. Xin Zhao up at the top by himself. It makes me a little bit scared for him. At least looks like she's going to go up, taking a look around the map. Vi has discovered Urgot, and Leona does not want any of it. Regroups with Elise and Sona, heading still further north. Xin Zhao pushing those minions into the tower there. Looks like Vi is going to come up to respond to that. Put some damage in on them, forces them to out of the jungle to get rid of those creeps at the top there. Sona coming up as well. So now Dominionation knows where all the members of that team are. Cutting in the jungle here in the middle of the map. Solar Flare catches Noob V3. FatMii running interference, so they can't quite connect with her the way that they want to. Xin Zhao in with a knockback and an airborne right there. Good play by Dominionation, cutting in like that. Moral Sinistral having to fall back for the refinery now. The pressure from Leona is going to keep her from getting out and active on the map, and Urgot is going to be able to take the windmill no problem.
Sinch has been doing a fantastic job bot lane. He's been facing Talon and Gragas 1v2, and he successfully made Talon recall and brought Gragas very low. But they have nerfed his sustain, so he's not able to just heal back up at will, as he used to be back in Season 2.
Nyx wants that throw. He really wants that throw. He's not... Top of the map, something completely different going on. Stun goes on Curiono right now, and that means that, Vi gonna get a free trip back. Not Vi, excuse me. Leona is not Vi, and Leona gets a free trip back to the summoner platform. Vi does not.
Zyra should not have come up here. She should have responded to the loss of quest at bot.
Yeah, there was nothing Zyra could really do in that position. I mean, 4 people up there top. Leona's so close to being dead already. She tried to throw down a little bit of damage and interrupt, but just didn't really have anything on that. And when I say the phrase, didn't have anything on that, I mean that they were in a situation in which none of the things that they could do would not be impactful enough to take complete control of the situation. Wing Street getting caught again. Leona takes the stun, though, from Elise. Elise pursuing Zyra. Takes Zyra down very quickly right there. Xin Zhao with the knockback, trying to clear some space for his allies to retreat. Leona retreating towards the drill there. And Gali trying to get away, but no, Talon comes in. Is able to secure the kill on him. However, Xin Zhao takes down Sona in the exchange. Talon falling back towards the bottom point. Looks like Singe might go to try and interrupt that. Catches it with the adhesive. Evolution doesn't like that. Jumps through. Singed there, takes some damage from the poison. Xin Zhao is able to clean him up. That's the 3rd kill that Krillian has gotten on Evolution's Talon right there. They do not get along in this particular game. Noob V3 up at the top, trying to defend 1v2. Maybe able to delay for a little while. Zyra's okay at that, but there's a big minion wave coming in here, and if Zyra's able to catch a snare, Gali's going to be able to put in a lot of damage on that Urgot, and at least I think is aware of that, standing way back there. Leona and Xin Zhao playing interference in the middle of the map right here, cutting off the approach pass so that no one can go up there to stop that from happening. Vi goes in with the ultimate, slam dunks Krillian into the ground right there, dies right on that little pedestal where the health relic would spawn. Very appropriately placed. Gali retreats to pick up a relic for himself, trying to keep his health topped off as best he can. And Nyx and Goldjet still having a little bit of a disagreement in the bottom lane. Talon coming down here once again, though. Evolution's Talon has been keeping a lot of pressure on the bottom, but Curiono coming in from behind is going to make him think twice about doing that, and Talon is going to break off, it looks like. The top end of the map is just Zyra on the windmill by herself at the moment. See Elise taking the Storm Shield right there. Evolution and Moral Sinistral up at the top right now. The Zenith Blade does not connect because Xin Zhao dashes out of it. There's defensive garrison on the tower there. Vi gets taken down. Moral Sinistral is being forced away from the point. She gets clipped. And Noob V3 and Talon know that there's really not a lot they can do on that point. They don't have anything on that.
They win the 3v3 with Vi here, but they don't seem to be going for it. They're just going to go back and kill Singed.
Uh-oh. Noob V3 maybe a little greedy going for that Storm Shield right there. Is barely going to get Kerillian in the exchange, though. But they lose 2 there down the bottom lane, though. Singed does get taken out. Vi goes down for the gank, and they're able to kill him. Singed had that wave pressed all the way out, back across the map.
From his recall finishing, he almost got out.
And Sona going to take the Storm Shield.
Yep. She has been demonstrating very good poke this game. She's going to pick up a nice pawn to engage on people and keep them slowed for the rest of her team.
Iceborne Gauntlet is a very good piece of handwear. It's very fashionable. I highly recommend that you get one if you're playing a character that can use a sheen and needs armor. Catching Sona there, they're able to put a lot of hurt on her, or at least a lot of hits anyway, but she does have that armor from the Glacial Shroud helping her out quite a bit, though. And lots of AoE from Zyra coming out, though. She's getting a little bit low on health and does die. And golly...
Zyra was a bit late to this fight, unfortunately.
Yeah. Kerillian with the revive coming back. Are he and Golly going to be able to take care of this? Golly walks almost directly into at least able to pick up that kill right there. Rappel up. They're waiting to try and see where she lands at, and they do find it. Xin able to take her down with the help of Leona there. And Vi can't make a play for the windmill by herself against Xin Zhao and Leona, unfortunately. Singed able to kill Gragas once again down here in the bottom lane. Nyx going to get that neutral off, breaking away from the capture, knowing the minions were going to be enough to stop it, or to ensure, rather, that it does go neutral. So he didn't need to stick around and risk himself too much. He does get killed anyway, but that extra second helps a lot there. Skuriona takes a little bit of damage. BFT debuff. No one likes the BFT debuff. Up at the top, Zyra dies. Does not have a terrible amount of hit points. Zyra, you can kill a Zyra if you catch her. She can die pretty quick. And Xin Zhao, unsupported, without anyone to CC or zone for him, gets taken down by the combination of those 3 characters. Golly's Urgot goes up for a little bit of a poke, but he can't stop that, so he wisely falls back rather than trying to engage 1v4. Guys, don't go for the 1v4 solo interrupt on the tower. Just don't. Regroup, wait for your teammates to get the tower back later. It's a little bit safer that way.
It's also just important to keep your whereabouts hidden. You might well be ganking bot again.
Yep.
If you don't reveal yourself.
Nyx87 throws down the adhesive going in for Noob V3. The position reverse goes down. Great casket right there by Gragas, using that to pick up Urgot. And Sona and Evolution wanting to fight Skuriona here. Sweeper goes off, reveals Talon right there. Talon running away. Nyx87 wants some of that. However, Gragas down there, he does have to turn around and go back down to defend the point. Leona living for quite a long time, keeping Sona and Elise busy. Up at the top, it's just Vi by herself. Talon is on his way up there, but Leona is doing an amazing job of keeping 2 champions busy so that her teammates can fight elsewhere without having to worry about them.
Yes. Zyra's reaction seemed to be not the best this game. Maybe she's having a bad day.
As Zyra getting caught up at the top, again killed off, unfortunately. Sona and Elise show up, but it looks like once Talon arrived up there, Talon and Vi were enough to handle that situation. And Golly and Moral Sinistral having a little bit of a disagreement there. Sinistral taking a lot of damage. His exhaust lands. Zenith Blade does not connect, anticipating that Sun was going to go that way, but inevitably did not. Now, FatMii poking out with a little bit of damage there. Not looking for an engagement right now. It looks like both teams sort of spreading out, looking for their team, seeing some sweepers go off.
Yes.
And vision is a high premium in this game, you guys. You want to remember to get those vision items. They are very useful. You have to know where the enemy is. There are no wards, and being able to check those bushes. Skuriona goes in. Solar Flare, great Solar Flare on Evolution up there at the top. Zyra follows up with the Airborne, though, and is able to chase Talon back away. However, Noob V3 catches Zyra before Zyra is able to escape and picks up the double kill right there. Golly goes down. Skuriona now 1v3. Not able to survive for too long there. The great stun up there at the top on Talon. Zyra followed up with an airborne. Talon, lots of crowd control on him, but they just weren't able to get him down, unfortunately.
Yes.
The Nyx A7 going once again at Goldjet, has Goldjet on the tower. He's trying to interrupt the capture and is able to do so. Nick's going to go ahead and retreat. He knows that people are on their way. He's just going to go ahead and leave the point now because, well, why get into a fight like that?
Yes, looking at purple team's builds, they're really actually lacking in the serious penetration. They need to hurt people. FatMii is very tanky. Sona is pretty tanky, and they just... Kerillian and Zyra just don't have the penetration they need.
You see Sona rocking that Spirit Visage there for the MR. Has the sweeper, which brings... not Sona, excuse me. Sona's with the Iceborne Gauntlet. Null Magic, that's what I was thinking of. Got the Null Magic Mantle right there. Iceborne Gauntlet for the armor. She's got the armor, she's got the MR, she has the sweeper. Sweeper gives health. And Skuriona with the stun down there in the bottom lane. FatMii trying to put the damage on Golly there. Golly trying to hang back on the outside of the fight. 4v5 down here. Singed gets... No, Singed is actually dead, so it's 4v4 down here in the bottom lane. Singed not able to contribute to the fight at all. That point dangerously close to being captured, and now is going to be so after that fight gets swept. Gragas heading up to the top, and this is an awful position to be in.
Yes, it is.
Nyx A7 is going to be able to chase Goldjet 30 away from the point, at least in the lane up there at the top of the map. Singed sees that, going to throw some damage on her. New V3 does a lot of damage to Nyx, though. I don't think he was quite prepared to get hit as hard as he did right there. Running around the middle of the map, poison all over the place. He's air pollution. He's bad for the environment. Yeah. Nyx A7 running around trying to intercept some people. Does get a fling off on Goldjet. Goldjet, that damage from Gragas. You saw that there, guys. Golly almost died. FatMii was able to follow that up and pick up the kill on him. Sakuriona now trapped between Sona and Vi, and that's not a good place to be. Xin Zhao able to get the point neutral down here, but I'm not sure how long he's going to last. If Sona's able to connect with him, Kerillian is going to get a free trip back to the summoner platform. Vi with the dash, Sona with the stun, and Xin Zhao gets a trip back to the platform. Now, Golly is probably going to be able to delay for a little while down here, at least long enough for Singed to arrive. But the problem is, it's 3.5 cap going for FatMii too heavy right now. And they at that point capture, and they need to make a play on the windmill right now. And they have no one in a position to be able to do that, unfortunately.
Yes. I think Dominionation did a great job of holding on in the early game. And late game, FatMii too heavy was just much better coordinated.
Goldjet down there duking out with Kerillian at the end of the match, and FatMii too heavy is going to advance on to the round of 4. So we will we'll have to go find another game for you guys. We'll have Yorick dig one up out of the bottom lane somewhere. Let's take a look at the post-game screen, get another look at the items and such. My cursor needs to be freed. There we go.
Okay, we could go for Payzev and Child Support versus Awesome Explosion plus Lolly, or I think this is Clueless against FatMii too heavy.
I can do either one. Is there a particular one that happens to be ready right now?
Let me see. Alright, I'll ask Half-Hearted if he's ready for this.
Taking a look at the damage done. Talon far in the lead there. And let's find out who the Graveyard Hero is this game. Graveyard Hero this game, Xin Zhao, 302. Gragas is the one who's alive the most with only 32.
Okay, I'm getting us an invite to Clueless's game.
Cool. Sounds great. So we'll bring that game to you guys in just a moment here. We'll see you in a few seconds or minute or whatever. We'll find out.